Volkswagen. This brand invokes some great memories with people, and the brand itself loves to have a little bit of fun. You remember Punch Buggy or that Unpimp Your Auto commercial? Well, I'm in San Francisco. I got on a cool shirt, sunglasses, and some flared out jeans because I'm about to take this icon on a test drive. This is the ID Buzz, and after a 20-year hiatus from the North American market, Volkswagen brings back their iconic minibus, but now it's all electric. It still retains similar styling cues to the original minibus like the boxy look, short overhangs, long wheelbase, large VW badge in front, available two-tone paint options, and these trim pieces on the D-pillars that look like air vents, which is a nod to the OG microbus's cooling slots. But these large wheels and LED headlights and taillights let you know that this bus is one modern cool cat. And yes, we know that they sell the short wheelbase version over there in Europe, so you don't have to let me know that in the comments section, okay? Okay. Here in the States, we get the 3-row long wheelbase. Yeah, if you're looking for attention, this thing definitely gets it. I can't tell you how many people have come up to me while I'm shooting B-roll to let me know this looks cool. They're finally happy to see it in person. Their brother has it over in Europe, or this brand just gives them so many cool memories of the old microbus that their parents might have had. So if you want attention, this is it. R.I.P. Cybertruck. Oh, you thought I was joking? People were poking their head out of the windows on Lombard Street just to see what was going on. Folks on their morning walks were stopping to tell us of their memories past, and plenty of people were asking how it is to drive. And I told them the VW ID Buzz comes as either a rear-wheel drive model like the Tester I'm driving, or a more powerful dual-motor 4Motion all-wheel drive model, and can bug it from 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. Can you dig it? I had the fortune of getting the rear-wheel drive Pro S model, which is probably going to be their volume seller. And this has plenty of horsepower and it's fun to drive. Now, the brakes, they feel fine, but they're a little bit squishy on top of the pedal, and there's no one pedal drive mode. So if you're into that type of thing, sorry, it's not on the ID Buzz. If you want a stronger regenerative braking feel, you can twist the column-mounted shifter to B mode, and that's about as close as you could get to one-pedal driving, but it will only slow this bus down to about a walking pace. The ID Buzz is built on Volkswagen's MEB platform and is comprised of a low-mounted 91 kilowatt-hour battery pack that saves interior space and gives this bus a low center of gravity. Rear-wheel drive models can achieve up to 234 miles of total driving range, and surprisingly, the dual-motor all-wheel drive model's range doesn't get dinged much with 231 miles of total range. This vehicle can charge up to 200 kilowatts on a DC fast charger and get a 10 to 80% charge in about 26 minutes. The skateboard-style battery setup helps to keep the ID Buzz stable when cornering, and for the most part stays pretty well balanced and rides like a smaller vehicle. But don't let the cute exterior footprint fool you. This thing looks larger in person and is massive inside, which we'll get to later. The ride in the ID Buzz feels good. The suspension is soaking up a lot of the bumps, and the steering feels nice and precise. I don't like the haptic feedback buttons on the steering wheel because if your thumb does graze one of the buttons, the music could turn on and you could get a copyright strike on YouTube. But the good thing is the steering is precise, albeit a little bit light. There are drive modes that you can put the ID Buzz into, so if you want a little bit more of that gusto on demand, yeah, and it's right there at your disposal. While driving the ID Buzz, I was never intimidated by its size. A tight turning radius helps with agility, and parking sensors and a top-down view on the 12.9-inch infotainment touchscreen help to clear up a sticky parking situation. The 5.3-inch screen on digital gauge cluster duty is small but mighty, and the bright head-up display helps keep the driver's eyes glued to the road. I really like the head-up display in this model. It's nice and clear. It's giving me the directions from the navigation. So the head-up display is a nice touch. The gauge cluster, it's pretty small. It gives you all of your information, all of the important stuff that you need right here in front. You can change it up a little bit if you want to change the view, but it gets the job done. If you do lower the steering wheel a little bit, if you like it nice and low, it's going to block the gauge cluster just a little bit, but you'll be fine. And as far as the infotainment screen, I'm not going to lie, it seems a little bit cluttered. I'm pretty sure the longer that you own this vehicle, you'll get acclimated to it. But when you're on certain menus, it just looks like it's a lot. But it is responsive, it's clear, and hopefully you can get used to it. But Volkswagen, please bring back physical knobs and switches for the HVAC controls, because we all just love that. The driver's position is super comfortable, albeit I wish there was a little bit more leg space. I wish this seat went back a little bit farther on its tracks, but you could get in a really nice and comfortable driving position. And you gotta keep in mind, you have armrest on both sides. It's kind of like a captain's chair situation. And you have an armrest right here, which is nice and squishy. But you gotta remember, if you are exiting the vehicle, put that bad boy up, because I've ran into it a countless amount of times. So yeah, just keep that in mind. When it comes to loading up the ID. Buzz comfortably with passengers, the long wheelbase makes it a breeze. At roughly the same size as a Volkswagen Atlas, the Buzz has more second row headroom and third row legroom than the Atlas. The ID. Buzz comes in a 6 or 7 seat configuration, and there's room for even a 6'4" person like me to fit in every row. When entering the second row, there's a grab handle at the corner of the sliding door to help ingress and egress, and there's plenty of space behind tall front seat occupants. The seats can slide and recline, USB ports are on the inside of the door, air vents are located up above, and there's even a small window that slides back to get some fresh air. The second row seats can even tilt forward with a front-facing child seat in place, allowing easy access into the third row where there's still plenty of headroom. The seats can recline, there's USB ports and a phone holder near the window, and legroom is plentiful even with the second row seats farthest back on its rails. And if you're not using the third row, the seats can be removed for extra space. Oh, and loading up cargo is not a problem, because the second row and the third row folds flat, and you also have this shelf that gives you a flat load floor. So you know what that means? That means you can haul long items, you could come in and have a picnic, or you can contemplate on the life choices that you just made. What's the baby's name gonna be? You know what? I'm not here to judge. We're by the ocean, and we're in San Fran. You do you. The ID. Buzz has a max cargo volume of 146 cubic feet. On top of this optional flexboard storage shelf, you can place these Velcro bottom dividers to keep your things in place or store your stuff in the cubbies below. Oh, and the cool features don't end there. No, there's functionality and Easter eggs all around the cabin that give the interior character. There's a USB-C port near the windshield just in case you want to mount a dash cam, a power outlet under the front passenger seat, a center console with storage in front and back, an ice scraper and a bottle opener at the top, and the console can be completely removed. There are small nooks almost everywhere. The accelerator and brake pedals have play and pause pedal caps, and if you look closely, you'll find a bunch of little ID. Buzzes scattered in the most unlikeliest of places. And if you're wondering, no, there is no frunk. There's just all this stuff up here, so let's just close that. I think the cabin of the ID. Buzz is great. Soft touch points, cool looking materials, and it's practical and functional. I mean, you have places to put your purse, your merce, whatever you want, water bottles. You have that in the interior of the ID. Buzz. That's great. And there's not a lot of noise coming into the cabin either, but when you roll the windows down, there is some wind buffeting. So just keep that in mind. If you have the front seat windows down, you're gonna hear some whoa, 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 whoa. There it is. That's the wind buffeting. Besides that, it's nice and quiet in here and it feels really good. Visibility in this bus is a bit of a mixed bag. I'll start with the negative. Negative is the higher belt line on the second and third row. It can impede a little bit over your right shoulder. The direct back window, it's not a lot of real estate. But the good thing is, up front, you have a lot of real estate and you have an elevated seating position so you can see out way better. And you also have these cutouts on the A-pillar, which kind of eliminate blind spots right there as well. And you can drive this around very confidently, even though it's a big old vehicle. Keeping you and your passengers safe in the ID Buzz is the IQ Drive Safety Suite, which includes features like rear cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, emergency brake assist with pedestrian and cyclist detection, and adaptive cruise control. And if you're looking to add the head-up display and a round view monitor, those are available on higher trims. So this ID Buzz is pretty far out to drive, man, but we gotta come back down to reality and discuss how much does this thing cost. At launch, the ID Buzz will have 3 different trims. The well-equipped base Pro S model, which has a 7-seat configuration and only comes in rear-wheel drive, starts at $61,545, which includes the destination charge. So many features come with the base, like 20-inch wheels, power tailgate and sliding doors, leatherette seats, heated steering wheel, heated second row seats, 3-zone climate control, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charging, and that removable console. Move up to the Pro S Plus model for $65,045 if you'd like to add captain's chairs, the flex board, 360 camera, and 2-tone paint. And for the first edition model, which has special wheels, badging, and electrochromic panoramic glass roof, that will cost $67,045. If you're looking to add the dual motor all-wheel drive system, it's available on the Pro S Plus and first edition models for an extra $4,500. If you're in the market for a 3-row EV like the ID Buzz, or even a sedan or an SUV, go on KBB.com and get a fair purchase price. KBB.com, click the link above for more details. This EV minivan is unique for its segment, and it's looking to give 3-row EV SUVs like the Kia EV9 a run for their money. The highly anticipated ID Buzz is already available to configure on Volkswagen's website, and it'll be looking to go on sale in mid-November of 2024. The Volkswagen Icon returns, and you're an EV minivan. And not only do you have plenty of space for your passengers, you can load this up with lots of cargo. It's fun to drive, has plenty of tech, and come on, you gotta admit, it looks cool too. And if all that sounds good to you, check one out for yourself.